Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle, teaming up again with the Washington State Council of Firefighters. Why? Because, well, we want to put 1,000 new coats on kids that need them this holiday season. All it takes is $34, and that'll put a brand new American-made coat on a child in need. If you can't do the full 34, any donation is going to help. Because we want to keep these kids warm this winter. I mean, seriously, you know it gets cold here in the Pacific Northwest, and this time of year, people think about gifts, great meals, and all a kid wants, some of these kids just, they want a coat so they can keep warm. Help out today. Go to KISW.com.
Let's play Beat Migs.
It's time to play the game.
Yeah.
So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs. Don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs. You're a loser.
It is time to beat Migs. It's time to turn down for tacos.
Turn down for what?
Oh, yeah. Get those tacos.
All right. We screwed up. We had tacos yesterday.
Oh, Steve.
It's always Taco Monday.
Yeah, Taco Monday at your
Taco
house.
Monday isn't even a thing. It doesn't even sound right. It doesn't, but we're just prepping and getting ready for tacos on Tuesday.
So you can have those taco burps today.
Lovely. Thank you for thanks for bringing that up.
No, sorry. Apparently that wasn't something that other people deal with.
No.
Actually, I don't.
All right, then.
I only deal with the hot dog burps.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Processed
breakfast.
meat burps.
It's breakfast time, guys.
Soda burps.
Talking about.
Oh, yeah. Soda, it really does
Coffee
help with
burps.
it. Ooh, coffee burps are rough. Those are the ones that give me a little reflux there.
I'm with BJ.
Yeah. Whenever you idiots are done.
Fine, let's get to our contestant. We got Aaron in Tacoma. Aaron, are you there, sir?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. What's he playing for today, Steve?
Right, playing for tickets to check out Cage Sport MMA, which is happening on December 15th at the Emerald Queen Casino. You get to hang out, see the Ted Smith do his thing as well, as he does some announcing at those shows, which is always awesome. And go to KISW.com for all the information. If you want tickets, they're available now at Ticketmaster.com.
All right, Steve, get out of here. Get out. For those playing at home, Aaron will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Aaron, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Hell yeah.
On what amusement park ride do passengers ride painted horses around and around to music?
Carousel.
Yes. How many nickels are in $1.50?
30.
Yes. What year of the early 2000s did the first Shrek movie come out?
2000.
No.
2001.
Yes. What Southwest state is home to the White Sands National Monument?
Arizona.
No.
New Mexico.
Yes. Who became the first person to become a billionaire by writing books?
Stephen King.
No.
Anne Rice.
No.
J.K. Rowling.
Yes. Who was the first? Who is the lead singer of the Rolling Stones?
Mick Jagger.
Yes. What is a group of locusts called?
Pass.
Which actor played the role of Dr. Fraser Crane?
Kelsey Grammer.
Yes. What material is denim made from?
Cotton.
Yes. Which is the 4th planet from the sun?
Mercury.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correct.
Oh, my.
Pretty close there. And might be the deciding factor, but we might get another Steve Lost song.
Is there a second answer for question 1?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, and I would accept that as well. It's written on here, yeah.
I cannot believe that author question.
You can't?
I can't believe I didn't know it.
Oh.
I mean, I knew it once it was said, but I'm really not happy with myself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Self-loathing on Beat Migs.
Aaron would have beat me today. He would have got me good.
Steve, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
On what amusement park ride do passengers ride painted horses around and around to music?
It's a small world after all.
No.
Oh, damn it. No, I'm sorry. Getting that in everyone's head.
Thanks, buddy.
Carousel.
Yes. How many nickels are in $1.50?
Oh, crap. 15.
No. Yeah.
I don't know.
You can do it.
75.
No.
70.
No. What year of the early 2000s did the first...
Math.
No. What year of the early 2000s did the first Shrek movie come out?
2003.
No.
2002.
Nope.
2001.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which Southwest state is home to the White Sands National Monument?
I'm going to go New Mexico.
Yes. Who became the first person to become a billionaire by writing books?
Stephen King.
No.
John Grisham.
No.
L. Ron Hubbard.
No. Who is the lead singer of the Rolling Stones?
Mick Jagger.
Yes. What is a group of locusts called?
Plague.
Yes. Which actor played the role of Dr. Fraser Crane?
Kelsey Grammer.
Yes. What material is denim made from?
Dungarees.
No.
Wool.
No.
Cotton.
Yep. Too late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You lose 6-8.
Yeah.
This is a holiday decline.
Yeah, it surely is. Congratulations, Aaron. You are a winner, sir.
Thank you so much.
All right, hang on. We'll tell you how to get your prize. And Steve, I got this for you.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, Steve. He's a loser.
Shut up, Brad.
Just singing along, man.
Not in the lyrics.
Yeah, Steve. Aaron did know that it's 30 nickels in $1.50.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
You got it now. No, that makes all the sense in the world. 3 times 5.
Yep. BJ was mad at himself for not knowing that it was J.K. Rowling who was the billionaire, but Aaron figured it out.
Oh, crap. That makes sense.
Yeah.
She actually, in 2012, dropped out of the billionaire status. Just fun fact. She's now a billionaire again, but...
Was it because of like charitable work or
Yep,
something?
she donated so much to charities, she dropped off the Forbes billionaire list.
And then she said, screw charities. I got to get back on that list.
Well, it's just like all these movies keep coming out and people keep spending money, so she's going to keep making that money.
Yeah, Fantastic Beasts isn't a bad thing for her either.
Nope.
Yeah, right. One question you didn't get to, Steve, and Aaron did not get correct. What is the fourth planet from the sun? Earth. No.
That's the third.
Yes.
Jupiter.
No.
Wow.
There's one in between there.
Wow.
That would be Uranus.
No! You were close.
Mars.
There you go.
That's right.
Mars.
Good job, bud.
Mars.
Good job. You know that planet we keep sending stuff to and landing rovers on there, and you know that one there.
And you get your ass to.
Yeah.
Get your ass to Mars, Steve.
Thank you. Congratulations on Aaron on beating Steve this morning.
Yeah, man. You tie or beat Steve, you get the prize. It's as simple as that on Beat Migs. All right, well, Wolverine, also known as Hugh Jackman, that's his real name, just shared a great story about Stan Lee last night because if you haven't heard, it's sad news. Stan Lee passed away at 95 years old, the great creator of Marvel Comics. And Hugh Jackman shared a great story about Stan last night. You're going to hear it at 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Stan Lee, the legendary writer, editor, and publisher of Marvel Comics, has passed away. He was 95 years old. Of course, Stan was responsible for such great characters. Spider-Man, the X-Men, Thor, Iron Man, Black Panther, Fantastic Four. Hugh Jackman, who played Wolverine from the X-Men, was on Colbert last night, told a great story about Stan.
First of all, if you ever want to get a real understanding of where you're at in the world, and you think, oh, I'm Wolverine, I'm walking into Comic-Con, this is my spot, right? This is a good day for me. And I was on a red carpet, and I was the only one on there, and no one was taking my photo because at the other end was Stan Lee. And there was about 300 photographers and interviewers just all on Stan. And I was just like, anyway, Stan, God bless you, you're one of the greats.
Isn't that something, man? Yeah.
Here you are, Hugh Jackman, one of the biggest stars in the world, and everyone's like, nope, sorry, Stan Lee's an icon.
Yeah. And a lot of celebrities took to Twitter to pay tribute to Stan and talk about his importance to their childhood. Kevin Smith tweeted, quote, "Farewell, my friend. You're not only responsible for the boy I was, but also the man I am today. I will miss you all my days." Kevin's about 10 years younger than me, so it's amazing how many generations really got into what Stan was doing because I would have the same thing to say that Kevin said.
Well, think about even someone who's maybe 8, 9, 10 years old right now, doesn't know who Stan Lee is, but is a huge Spider-Man fan or a huge Avengers fan, dresses up as Iron Man for Halloween.
Yeah, you're right. They may not know, oh, that old guy that we see once in a while in the movies, that guy created all these guys.
Like at some point, probably when they hit their teens, and if they're still a huge fan of the Marvel Universe, then they'll start figuring out who Stan Lee really is.
The quote that blew my mind, just because of the fact that how popular they were, and surely at the time would not be considered in the same coolness as, there's no way the comic books and this guy would be considered in the same sentence because of how popular and how cool they were. And of course, I'm talking about KISS. And Gene Simmons had a quote. And if you told me back then, as I was reading my Fantastic Four, reading my Spider-Man, that one of the big stars of KISS was also a Marvel Comics fan at the time when they were super huge, and I didn't know anything about them except they were this big rock band. I didn't realize that they had such a love of comics and that it was huge for Gene. I didn't know that.
See, that's surprising because KISS had a comic book, and it was Marvel. It was a Marvel comic book, and they used their blood for the ink. BJ,
that came after. I'm talking about when KISS was first on the scene. I don't know when the comic book came out. It
was like in the 70s, man. It was like right around the height of KISS being huge.
In 1977, their first appearance was in Howard the Duck number 12.
Yeah, and when didn't they come out in 72? I thought that KISS
started becoming big around 74, 75. That's when KISS Alive came out.
Yeah. Because, I knew about the comic book after the fact, like you said, Steve, but I just remember thinking like, wow, here's a band. Everyone's going to hate me even more because they love KISS, and I'm loving comic books. Didn't realize how much Gene loved Stan Lee. He said, quote, "Thank you for making my childhood so much more exciting with your astonishing superhero characters. Thank you for inspiring me to think and dream big. Thank you for the Hulk, Thor, Fantastic Four, and many others. You'll be sadly missed. R.I.P."
Wow.
Didn't know that, again, even when they were with Marvel Comics, I thought, well, KISS is just smart. This is what they think they should be doing. I didn't know he was such a big fan.
Well, it makes big sense because his son actually has written comic books before, and he's a huge comic book fan.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I used to watch the Gene Simmons Family
Jewels. Yeah.
And that's how I found out. He was a huge comic book nerd, so it makes sense. He got it from his dad.
And KISS, just as a band, the visual is very cartoony and comic book-like. So it's not surprising.
It all makes sense now. You're right, Steve.
You just didn't make the connection when you were a kid.
Yeah, did not make that connection because they were so cool. And at the time, comic books, at least in my world, and the people that were around me, they weren't. And lo and behold, Gene Simmons was like me reading these and became, very inspired by them.
One texter says, "Stan Lee got me through the awkward years of middle school and high school. Thank you and rest in peace, Stan."
Yeah, you know what? Everybody's tweets, everybody's quotes, everybody's text. Steve, it's like I could have written them. I had no idea so many people were getting the same thing from these books I was. I literally had no idea. Maybe a couple of my friends, but we were the outcasts. I had no idea there were so many of us.
See, social media would have been a good thing when you were a kid. You would have realized that you were not alone.
You're right, dude.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Man, so Stan Lee passed away at the age of 95 yesterday.
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
And as you've seen, as you've heard, his work had a major influence on them while growing up. Now, based on this, we know that happens for everybody, and it's not just Stan Lee. It could be anything. So we want you to finish this sentence, or fill it in, actually. Growing up, blank had a major influence on me. What is something from pop culture that's had a major influence on you? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. What's something from pop culture that's had a major influence on you?
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Stan Lee, creator of Marvel Comics, passed away yesterday at the age of 95, and for many, Stan's work had a major influence on him growing up, including myself. So based on this, we want you to fill in this sentence. Growing up, blank had a major influence on me. What's something from pop culture that had a major influence on you? 206-421-ROCK. You can also text us at 77999. Let's go to John in Everett. John, you are on The Rock.
Hola.
Hola, John, hola. Don't forget the Men's Room Afternoons right here on The Rock. What you got for us, buddy?
Sorry. Hey, guys, just wanted to say first-time caller, long-time listener, man.
Thanks,
you guys
buddy.
are awesome.
Thanks, man.
I'm not sure if it's, of course. I'm not really sure if it's pop culture, but growing up, my biggest idol was Steve Irwin. You guys remember that guy?
Oh, yeah. Total pop culture.
Crocodile hunter, man.
Yeah.
Watching that guy, tackle a alligator down and, no fear. That really, growing up and watching all the stuff happening with his dog and everything and him passing away, and now they're making the new show with his family, dude. I'm stoked.
Yeah, his kid has really picked up grabbed the the torch and ran with it.
Both kids.
Both, okay. Because I've seen clips, I think it's his with Bindi.
Yeah.
Bindi's the one I remember.
Yeah, and his son's actually been on a lot of TV or nighttime shows, I think, with Jimmy Fallon as well, with animals. They both really love it.
That's awesome.
And the new show is Crikey. It's the Irwins.
Oh, crikey.
Oh,
so
man.
I think that's kind of awesome.
Super stoked.
I don't blame you,
I just
dude.
wanted to say you guys are awesome and have a good day.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, buddy.
Apparently, he's not the only one. Not my name, but the text says, my name is Ashley, and I'm from Eatonville. One of my biggest influences growing up, Steve Irwin. His compassion for animals led me to be the veterinary worker that I am today.
I wouldn't be surprised. Steve Irwin, especially, when he passed away, touched a lot of people. You didn't realize just how many people loved the dude, and it was for the reasons that she said. And, I think it's cathartic and awesome that his kids are taking up the mantle.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm just looking at a press picture, and it's the mom and the two kids, and it's pretty awesome.
Wow, look at that. Oh, and there's who's that guy? Who's that interloper dude?
I'm not sure, but I'm just looking at the snakes.
Yeah.
And the lizards.
Some guy's trying to work his way into the Irwin family.
DJ. I don't go for that at all.
He's probably a relative.
I'm saying their version of Johnny Ruppers, maybe?
Oh.
I don't know. It looks like he's with the mom. I don't know, as opposed to the daughter.
No, he's hanging with the daughter.
Is he hanging with the daughter?
He's next to the daughter.
Oh, I thought that was the mom.
Bindi's boyfriend, Chandler.
Oh, all right. I suppose I'll allow it. Since it's the daughter's boyfriend. I thought that was next to the mom trying to weasel his way into Mrs. Hunter.
He better not screw this up and be like a Yoko Ono of the Irwins.
It's a good point. Yeah, it's a very, very good point. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Of course, Stan Lee passed away yesterday at 95. Influenced a lot of folks. How about you? What is something from pop culture that had a major influence on you? Let's go to Andy in Tacoma. Andy, you are on the Rock.
Right on. George Carlin was always a huge influence on my life. The 7 Words Can't Send television, and Al Sleep, the hippy dippy weatherman, and
so what did that do? What did that do?
My whole life.
What did that do for you, Andy? What was it about George Carlin? You're like, yeah, man, this made me the man I am today.
It made me look at things through a different microscope and analyze the way people acted and the obscurities of things.
Yeah, George Carlin was really, really great like that. He really did allow you in a very bizarre way for you to go, oh, and I have to agree, Andy. And of course, he was one of the greats and like a comics comic, even though usually a comic sometimes isn't as popular as George Carlin was. George was super successful and also really, really good at his craft.
I think like Carlin and Bill Hicks as well, two guys that were not just comics, but they were deep thinkers. So they did open up your eyes like, oh man, I never thought of things that way, while also still working humor into things.
And that's why it was so amazing that Carlin was able to have the success he had, because, Bill Hicks was great, but a lot of folks didn't know about Bill Hicks on the level of Carlin. And yet you're right. They both very similar with the quality they brought to the craft.
I think if Bill Hicks lived and continued to live and had a longer life, I think he would have had that. I don't know if he would have been on the same level as Carlin, but I think he would have had a lot more success than what he ended up having, because, he died I can't remember how old Bill Hicks was, but he wasn't super old.
Yeah. I mean, I remember Carlin on the old black and white Tonight Show, and he didn't look anything like the George Carlin we remember.
Yeah, Hicks was 32.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. If Hicks got to live as long as Carlin, you're right. He probably could have been a lot more mainstream. Who knows what his career would have been.
I like this text. Even though he was before my time, heavily influenced by my teenage years by Andy Kaufman. I was constantly pulling realistic pranks on people. He was a genius. Him and Bob Zmuda. Bob Zmuda, the brilliant mind behind Andy Kaufman, I always was influenced. I thought he was an awesome dude.
Wow.
He's still alive, obviously. But I remember meeting Bob Zmuda and freaking out. I was like, this is awesome. And he was such a nice guy, and then actually introduced me to Andy's old wife or girlfriend, because I got to go do like some radio interviews for Man on the Moon. And when he realized how big of a fan I was, he really took a liking to me and made it a point to introduce me to people that were important in his world that were there at the time.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, Bob's Mood is awesome.
Wow. 206-421-ROCK, text us at 77999. So, again, Stan Lee, a huge influence, passed away yesterday at 95 years old. So, growing up, what had a major influence on you? Let's go to Ryan in Olympia. Ryan, you are on the Rock.
Howdy.
Howdy, Ryan. How about you, buddy? What influenced you growing up?
Well, growing up, when I was at the ripe age enough to get up and watch Saturday morning cartoons, Pokemon.
Oh, wow.
It was big. It was coming out back then, and then fast forward to now, you got Pokemon Go on the cell phone, and it's just nostalgic.
Did you see the new Detective Pikachu movie that's coming out with Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu?
I did. Man, I hope he has Deadpool type jokes in there.
It looks really silly.
She was dropping F-bombs.
Oh my God, it's fantastic.
And Ryan, what was it about that show that inspired you? What about it made you the man you are today?
Oh, jeez. Don't give up.
Yeah, I mean, with a lot of cartoons, at least in my day, they did try to have inspirational messages buried in what they were doing. I mean, for me, I watched the show Lost in Space back when the original, and as I go back and watch it now, I'm like, oh, there were so many eat your vegetables and be kind to old people. I mean, all those messages were just all over that show. All I remember is Danger Will Robinson, but boy, they were really trying to make me a good citizen.
It's like G.I. Joe. Almost every episode of the G.I. Joe cartoon ended with some kind of PSA about being a better person.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing
Which is funny, that whole episode is I'm shooting up the bad guy. It's like, don't smoke, kids.
The one thing I do remember is that you give everybody a chance. You give, like, there's no such thing as only 1 second chance, because that one Lost in Space show, Dr. Smith tried to kill everybody on that ship so many times, betrayed everybody on that ship so many times. It would have been easy just to kick him out of the airlock, and the Robinson's family, their lives would be so much better. And they never did. They always brought him back, always had compassion. And it's like, okay, I guess I got to keep giving everybody a chance. That was the message of that show that I got. That inspired me to go, like, I can't just give up on anybody.
It's a cool message that a texter had about what influenced them. The Amazing Stories episode starring Mark Hamill called Gather Ye Acorns. There's a line from the episode, quote, "The world has enough doctors and lawyers. What it needs is a few more dreamers."
Wow. Look at Mark Hamill.
Yeah. Or whoever wrote the line for him.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we're not sure if that was him over there. How about the Rev? I wonder what inspired him to be the miserable creature he is today.
Not miserable, geez. Well, I mean, a little bit, kind of, sort of. Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, seriously.
It made me realize that the story's protagonists don't have to be good guys, and it showed me kind of that non-linear sort of way of thinking in terms of how the movie plays out. So it kind of broadened my horizons all around for just storytelling and just dealing with stories and stuff like that.
And you feel more comfortable bringing out your gimp.
Exactly.
Yeah, that really made a difference in Rev's life, no doubt about it. Yeah, and also Rev has a place to put his watches. I think he also got that from Pulp Fiction.
5 long years.
Yeah, there you go. Oh man, 206.
Uncle Chris here.
Yeah. Oh, here he is.
Oh, yeah, hi.
Oh, Mr. Grammer over here, yes.
Guys, The Muppet Show.
Oh, I think we were going to say like the Encyclopedia Britannica.
The Muppet Show.
Who remembers the Encyclopedia Britannica? That's awesome.
That's inspired his life. That
and
inspired your life. Yeah.
But no, The Muppet Show, guys. Like all the humor that I do, that I try to do. I try to be funny as much as I can. You know, when I'm not in here teaching you guys what the English language is all about. But you get
Waka Waka.
There was a lot to no, exactly. No, you hit it, man. It's like there's all kinds of comedy on that show. You got the dumb on purpose of Fozzie. Mm-hmm. You've got the clever, multi-layered veterinarian's hospital, Pigs in Space. You've got the snarky sort of persiflage of Statler and Waldorf.
The Hoosiflage? The who what?
Persiflage.
A metal band from Britain in the 80s.
Those guys. Yeah.
But they had all these different types of comedy and humor that everybody on the show was trying to get out there. And then you also had sort of a performance vaudevillian setup, and that kind of gave me the idea that maybe I could be a performer and make people laugh and entertain. This was it.
So it didn't work out for you, huh?
Nope, sorry.
Well, it's funny because similar show for different reasons. Animal from the Muppets is why I wanted to play the drums.
Yeah. See? Really?
Yeah.
It wasn't your dad?
No. My dad didn't want me to play the drums. There was too much noise in the house.
I know, but you know he was a drummer, but Animal was the one that actually...
Yes.
Your dad was the drummer, but Animal was the one that actually got you to want to be a drummer.
1,000%.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Animal is the reason why I want to play drums. It's also part of how I patterned my way of playing drums, which is bad, but just move your body around a lot. People think you're doing okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Animal's the man. That's why I was for Halloween one time when the new originals played. I was Animal from the Muppets.
The same show, 2 different inspirations.
That Fozzie Bear, I always liked his comedy.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's, we've learned a lot.
What would you want me to say? John Holmes.
Wow. And then you posed and did a pelvic thrust.
Yeah, a little bit of a thrust there.
Okay, Superman.
What's your influence?
Have you not been listening to the show?
I know it's Stan Lee.
Well, it is Stan Lee. And then I also just said Lost in Space.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just telling a story.
You know what? I'm actually surprised his go-to answer wasn't William Shatner this time.
That's what I was waiting for.
Well, you got to go back to like my first thing, because I watched Space before I watched Trek, and I also read. It was all at the same time, and really, Peter Parker was me. I mean, his life was miserable, and I always thought if I had X, Y, or Z, I would be so happy. And I'm thinking, well, the guy's got. I mean, he looked good, and he had spider powers, and yet his life was still a mess. Made me feel better about my life, which I thought at the time was the mess. So that's what Stan Lee did for me, and also Ben Grimm. He also basically the Thing was pretty much my attitude. I was pretty miserable, and so was the Thing.
So what's Danny's then?
Oh, Danny? Oh, if it
probably Billy Joe Armstrong.
Yeah, it's got to be
close. No, it's just punk rock in general, but like specifically The Offspring. I remember the first time when I was still. Yeah, you're welcome. I was still the little like preppy kid that my mom dressed me as, and I remember hearing The Offspring's Americana for the first time, and I was like, I gotta have spiky hair and get tattoos, and I'm gonna buy all of The Offspring's albums, and that's what happened. And ever since then, it just kind of put me into bad religion.
And your poor mom was like, what is happening to my son?
Yeah,
the devil has him.
I was so worried about playing Americana because they said ass in one of the lyrics, and I was like, oh, my mom's gonna hurt me.
It's so funny. Album. I mean, you and my daughter are pretty around the same age and growing, and ass, I would have been happy if that's what was in her music that was the only lyric in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Coming from her bedroom, the heinous words that we heard from all the hip-hop she was listening to.
I can't even imagine.
Oh, and the conversations that everybody had with my wife, all of her friends who, these are women in their 40s at the time. How can you let this heavy... And they blamed me, of course. Your husband needs to get out there and enforce these things. And I'm like, oh, please, will you... If this is what worse my daughter does...
It'd be great if the neighbors started yelling at you and you just looked at them and smiled and you had a grill on. And you're like, bitch, sit down.
There's no saying that I can't still do that, Steve.
That's a good point.
I think it would look better now at my advanced years. Well, one of the most well-known pop singers of all time asked a bar band if she could sing with them, and she was denied. You're going to hear why at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's another listener question. How do I rebuild my credit after filing bankruptcy?
You rebuild it, one creditor at a time by making your payments on time on your rent or your mortgage, by continuing to make car payments on a car that you keep during your case. You can also, as I said, you can almost always get a credit card almost immediately after filing bankruptcy. Sometimes it's a secured card, and it'll almost always have a really high interest rate on it. But you can get a small balance credit card and charge a tank of gas or a dinner once a month on that, and make the payment, pay it off every month, and that'll help you build a credit history one creditor at a time, and will help you rebuild your credit over time.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.